Today I'm going to take you through a nice connecting yoga practice. All we're going to need is one blanket. You can just pick any blanket in your house and fold it a few times so you have kind of like a stack the height of my blanket. And then come to a comfortable seat, pull the flesh away from your sit bones, maybe shrug your shoulders up and back, take a few wriggles and make sure that you're sitting up nice and tall, almost as if a string is pulling you up and nice and tall towards the ceiling. And then just breathe here. Take a moment to arrive. Maybe you just woke up. Just see if you can feel your body touching the mat, your hands on your knees. Maybe you can feel the temperature of the room. Perhaps you can hear some sounds. And then from here we're going to bring our arms out wide and then up and overhead. Look up, see your palms touch, and then bring them in front of your heart. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Look up, see your palms touch, and bring them down in front of your heart. One more time. Arms go up, look up. Then bring up just the right arm, follow your hand with your eyes, and stack your palms over your heart. Same thing on the left side. Really follow your hands with your gaze here. So right arm goes up, look up at your hand, look at it as it comes down. Left arm goes up, follow the hand with your eyes, and then stack it over your heart. Take a few breaths here. Feel the warmth of your palms. And then bring your right arm up towards the sky. Grab a hold of your left knee and bring your left arm up and over for a side bend. You can pulse a little bit if that feels good, but there's no need to do anything that doesn't feel good. If you want, you can look up towards your top arm. Almost imagine that you're leaning against an invisible wall. So there's like this nice upright support behind you. Don't slouch, don't round. And then come back up on an inhale. Bring your left arm behind you like a kickstand and twist to the left. There's no need to pull or try and make your spine do something that it isn't already doing. We're just turning to one side, really. That's all we need to do in this twist. And then come back through to center, lift both arms up, bring the arms down to the ground, and then from here we're going to lift up the left arm, look up towards your palm, bring the left hand to your right knee, right arm goes up and over, side bend on the other side. And again, really imagine that there is something that is making you nice and supported on your back. So you don't want to round forward, but you also don't want to go too far back. Just a nice upright position. Breathe here. Feel the stretch in your side body. And then, whenever you are satisfied with this bend, we are going to bring the right hand back up towards the sky, then bring it behind us like a kickstand and twist to the other side. Same thing here. It's not about how far you go into the twist. It's more about lifting up and tall and then rotating from your upper body. So the bottom stays nice and heavy. Your legs are nice and stable. The only thing that's moving is your upper body. And then come back through to center, arms come up and lower them down to the ground. From here, grab both your knees and start taking some big circles with your upper body. Coffee grinders, if you will. Just slowly grind some coffee for yourself that you will probably want to have a cup of after this practice. Make them really nice and big, luxurious circles, arching through your back as you come forward and really rounding through the back as you go backwards. And then you can reverse those circles, taking them to the other side. As you exhale, you can round your back and come back. Inhale, come forward and arch the back. And you can take these as fast or as slow as you want. There's my cat, Baba. All right, beautiful. From here, we're gonna actually come onto our knees. And then you want to find a stable footing and bring your right leg out towards the side. So the edge of your foot is aligned with the short edge of your mat. You want to make sure that your heel is in line with your hips. You can bring your hands to your hips. And then if you want, you can take a bend here again, lifting up your left arm, having it come up and over, gate pose. Or you can stay here with your hands at your hips. Or you could walk your right arm down your right leg and do your gate pose that way. Yogi's choice. What feels good to you this morning? Then you can crawl those fingertips back in if they were down on your leg. Plant the left hand on the ground and make sure that the hand and the knee are torso's width apart. Lift your top arm up towards the ceiling, maybe look up, and then lift the leg that was extended towards the back of the mat. If you want, you can go further and you can take a bind here, so you can bend into that top leg and catch a hold of the top of your foot with your top arm. This is a bit tricky, it entails a lot of balancing. Really push that foot into your palm, get a nice stretch through your top shoulder. And then slowly and mindfully let go of that foot, come back through your floating table, and then bring everything down. We're just going to take a child's pose for one breath and then come up, round your back, and then come back into child's pose again and come up one more time. Beautiful. Just a little bit of movement to let go of this gate pose before we turn to face the long edge of the mat and bring out the left knee this time. Left leg. From here, reach up and over if you want a little side bend. Again, you're welcome to keep your hands at your hips. You're welcome to just walk one arm down the leg. Choose the variation that feels good for you here. I'm going to do the same thing. Personally, I had to back off a little bit. The side bend didn't feel as good as I imagined it would. Give yourself permission to adjust so that you feel comfortable. And then walk those fingertips back up your leg if you had them down. From here, again, take a torso's width distance between your knee and your palm, and then turn towards the front of the room, lift your arm up, lift the leg up, floating table. If you want, you can take your bind again by reaching back and grabbing hold of the top of your foot. Push into that palm with the top of your foot. Make sure that the knee doesn't go higher or lower than your hip, so you want to have it in line. Balance away and then slowly and mindfully extend everything again and then bring everything back down to the ground. We're going to take those same child's pose stretches, so a little cat stretch as you go back and then come forward. Go back into your child's pose again and then come up again. Beautiful. From here we're going to use our blanket, so you can actually fold your blanket so that it is like a little rolled up, maybe a cake or something like that. And then you can sit in front of that blanket, and you have to see how long your blanket is. Mine is a little bit shorter than I anticipated. The point is you don't want it too close to your sits bones so that it pinches into your lower back. We want to have the head on the blanket and the upper back on the blanket. So feel free to adjust until you have it just right. The blanket is between the shoulder blades and is supporting your head. And your shoulders are able to drop away on either side of the blanket. This is a supported fish pose. It's opening up through the front of our body, opens up the heart, the chest, maybe opening you up to some possibilities today. Maybe to the possibility that something lovely will happen to you, or that something unexpected might happen to you, perhaps unexpectedly good. So just breathe here in this fish pose. We're going to linger here for a little bit longer, feeling the support of the blanket, feeling your feet on the ground, the back of the legs on the ground, your hands touching the floor. Are your fingers relaxed? Are your feet relaxed? Can you sense your body in space? And then from here, roll onto one side so you can move that blanket out of the way and come right back onto your back. You can bring the feet, the knees into your chest, and then take those knees wide apart so they're on either side of your body, and then grab a hold of your feet with your hands. If this is too much, you can grab a hold of your legs, of your calves. But if you can, grab a hold of your feet. And then bring those legs wide. The ankles are stacked on top of the knees. Happy baby pose. This is a big stretch through the groin, the pelvis. Rock side to side if you want. Maybe straighten one leg if you can, and then the other. And you never have to go very far with this. A little stretch already does the job perfectly well. See if you can feel your hands on your feet, or maybe on your calves, if that's where you're holding on to your legs. And then you can bring those knees back together, hold on to the knees with your hands, and just take some nice circles, almost as if you're stirring a big pot of soup with your feet. Your arms are doing all the work for you here. Your legs are nice and relaxed. This can feel really nurturing for the lower back. Reverse those circles to the other side. Beautiful job. And then bring the soles of the feet down onto the mat. Widen the feet to the edges of your mat and drop the knees in towards each other. Maybe bring one hand on your lower belly and one hand on your heart. And then just breathe here. See how this feels, this internal rotation of the hip bones. In Happy Baby, we had an external rotation. Feel the warmth of your palms on your body. And then just drop the knees side to side, kind of like a windshield wiper motion. Side to side, stretching through the lower back. Maybe stretching through the tops of the legs. A few more. And then when you're satisfied, hold on to the backs of your legs and roll all the way up. You can create a little bit of momentum here so you can actually sit up. Do this mindfully, carefully, don't hurt yourself. And then come to take a nice comfortable seat. Do whatever you need to do in order to feel ready for the end of practice. Maybe you want to Adjust your shirt, adjust your sits bones. And then bring your palms on your knees, flip those palms up towards the sky. Maybe bring a smile to your face. And imagine something good falling into your palms. The universe handing you something lovely, something that you need today. Once you have it, close your hands, make little fists, and bring each fist in towards the heart, letting the palm spread across the chest, really taking in the goodness. Breathe. Thank yourself for showing up on the mat today. Thank you for practicing with me. Have a lovely day.